Hello, guys. Another episode of Comics Podcast, the podcast where we talk about nerd shit and pop culture, and then we go on to tangents. My name is Luis, as the host for this week, and the rest of the group is
Ash.
What's going on, everybody? It's Esteban.
I'm Carmen.
I'm Andres.
and this is.
I almost said the Wild Stallions thing again, but I remember.
We are Wild
Sorry.
Stallions. The funny thing is that was the episode that I saw recently. You did that. And we are the Wild Stallions. I was like, you're ridiculous. And so the idea that you quoted that, it's almost as if you were in my brain and you knew that anyway.
That's cool.
So welcome to the podcast. If you're a new listener, hang on, don't go away just yet. Check us out for a little bit. We have a lot of implementations of making you, the listener, a part of the show. Opening up to comments a little bit later in the show, within the first 10 minutes is usually when we get into it. Before we do that, though, we do like to have a brief segment on a drink of the week. And that rotates as well as the host does, of what are we drinking today, and maybe expand your horizons on the type of alcohol. And what do we have, Andres?
Today I am drinking a stout from Bottle Logic, which I've featured them before. It is called Degrees of Motion. It is a cookies and cream stout.
Show us the can.
Yes, I'm gonna flip the camera now. Here we go. Stupid man. Let's go. Here we go. And there's a can. See?
Ooh.
Cookies and cream. And
Cookies and cream.
Is it
yes,
like Guinness dark?
it is darker than Guinness. Yes.
Jesus.
It's a wee thick.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
I'm drinking some Bottle Logic as well.
Oh, sweet.
This is the German.
Andreas,
Yes, sir.
what do you think of Ramirez Liquor? Like,
They're
they have
pretty good.
They have a lot of fucking options. I
They
never
have a
know
good-
what to get.
They have a good selection. That would be a good place to go. Yeah, I think locally to us, that's probably one of the better bottle shops you could go to.
I just feel like anytime it's mine, like I could go one and then 5 weeks, one. Like, I'll never run out of things to try there.
That
Is
and
that the place in Boyle Heights?
there's one there, and they have one in Pico Rivera,
Hmm.
and they have kind of a tap room in Whittier as well, where it's called the Cellar, but that's owned by them too.
Ooh, the Cellar. I didn't know that was owned by them. I love the Cellar.
Yes, that's owned by them.
Ah.
But yes, Carmen, that's the one in Boyle Heights.
Got it.
All right. Well, before we jump into the comments of our YouTube and our social media channels, I first wanted to hand the show over to Carmen. Every week, the host gets to choose something that is near and dear to their heart that they get to recommend to another one of the co-hosts of the podcast. And so last week, Esteban was host, and he had a recommendation for Carmen. And Carmen, the floor is yours. What was recommended, and what did you think?
Oh, S7 recommended The Last of the Mohicans or
Yeah.
Mohicans, whichever way, I guess. But I loved it. One is a period piece, and whenever is a period piece, you have I'm done. I'm definitely gonna love it. So it's I don't want to say it's a romantic story, but there is a romantic story in the movie, but there is a lot of layers to the characters, which I appreciated. And then I also appreciated that it's a movie that I don't know if many movies have done, or at least I think that do nowadays, is tell a story slowly developing characters. I feel that recently now you know, like, you just get a character and like, bam, this is what they do, this is what they're gonna do. And I feel that this movie did a lot of character development from the beginning to the end. and I fell in love with the characters. I fell in love with the story and the fact that it portrays a point in history between the French and the British and coming or like establishing the colonies, and then the Native Americans trying to like fight for their own selves, and like not choose sides, but then kind of being stuck in the middle of it all and the craziness. So I loved it. Thank you, Esteban, for that recommendation. I feel the cinematography in the movie was beautiful. I don't know how old the movie is, to be honest, but I know it's definitely more than 10 years old.
Hell yeah.
It came out in 92.
94? Oh, 92.
92.
92. Oh yeah. So it's aged beautifully. I could not tell you that it was. I could have said it was probably shot like 5 years ago, and I would not know. So it's definitely aged beautifully. It's a really good story. So I definitely recommend it for whoever has not watched it, because I loved it.
Give us a rating out of 10.
I would probably say 9 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Slam dunk for Esteban. Good job, sir.
Hey man, like one night I was, I couldn't sleep, ended up scrolling through Amazon Prime and it showed up, and I'm like, I have not seen this movie in years. Like, I need to see how this movie aged. And Carmen hit the nail on the head. Like, the movie aged beautifully, it really did. The cinematography is perfect. Like, just the way, like, this is for movies nowadays, they're not made like this, they're not, they're not made like this. And it could very well be that the industry is just saturated right now with a lot of superhero stuff. And I'm not shitting on superhero stuff, because that's our niche. That's what we talk about. That's everything here, But to get a movie that isn't like that, that is beautifully made, and the story, like Carmen was saying, it's a slow burn, and it's a nice story that's being told. And the action sequences were just beautifully done, and it's a story that makes you care about every single character. Oh, the costumes were great.
Kiss.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So there's a few like gut-wrenching scenes in there. There's there's one at the stake. There's that one. There's that one there, and then just the there's that one, and then I think at the and I think the majority of them was at the very end, the last fight scene at the very end, the last like 30 minutes of the movie, like 45 minutes of the movie. That's where and Michael Mann was the one that directed this. He brought it home. Like, like Carmen said, if you guys have not seen it, you guys have to watch it. It's on Amazon Prime, and it's completely free right now.
You hear that, guys? Amazon Prime. Make it happen.
I will also say that I appreciate the fact that the Native Americans were played by actual Native American actors. It was a time where it wasn't like now, where, you were trying to portray a culture or a race for like what it is, but mostly it was represented as a stereotype up to even that point. And this movie did not do that, and I appreciate that a lot. I think that they did that also really well. So I really did commend them for that, because the actor, the villain, oh my God, I forgot his name, but he sold me. Like, whenever he was in the scene, like, I was like, I don't like you, but then it's like, okay, like, what? Good for you. You're a good actor. Like, you're doing your thing, but nope, I don't like you. Nope. I don't trust you at all, especially on the first scene when he betrays some people, and I won't spoil a lot of the movie for the people that haven't seen it, but I was like, oh, no, he did not do that. But so I appreciated that, and I liked it. So overall, thank you again. And again, if you guys haven't seen it, I definitely recommend it for sure.
Well, there it is. So without further ado, the recommendation for me, I think this is a fair assessment. I'll let it. Everyone's had a couple rounds at this already. It gets harder as the rounds go on. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. It is a little difficult to kind of pick and choose because you guys remember last episode.
Yeah, Stella went through everybody before it
I
went
went
to
through
Claire.
everybody before because originally I was going to go to Andres. That I'm like, okay, I'm going to have it, and then when I started naming off the actors that were in there, he's like, it's Last of the Mohicans, and I've seen it already. I'm like, oh god damn it, So then I had to go.
I went at the theater, son, when I was like fucking 9 years old.
Wee boy.
Yeah.
And because it's one of those things where it's like it has to be a movie that I think is beautiful, that I want somebody else to enjoy and experience. And so I don't want to give some half-ass recommendation. I want it to be either a TV show that I thought was a treasure that no one got to see, and I'm like, I need somebody else to know that this was fucking gold, or a movie that just nobody saw, or this one particular person I think maybe didn't see it, to kind of bring them into it a little bit more. That being said, Esteban, you're up first.
Ooh.
For me, The Rocketeer. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
I'm so kidding. I'm
like, you're joking, right?
for those that may be new to the show, The Rocketeer is Esteban's. Not only was it his favorite movie, it was his first movie that he became obsessed with as a kid, and it will also introduce him to his first crush in that same film. So it taught him all of the emotions. No, it's actually not you, Esteban. No, it is you. It is you. Sorry. It is. How well versed are you in stand-up comedy?
Not very. I mean, I'll watch it. I'll watch stand-up comedy, but like, if you asked me 8 years ago who Tom Segura was, I don't know. I don't know who he was. I recently heard of him because of you, Luis. You're the one that told me about it. You know what I mean? So, and then after that, like, it turned into all this other stuff, because, and then it's like, Brian Callen, and then, just following, and it just kind of like
following the thread.
Just falling down the rabbit hole and just like, oh, well, he knows this guy and this guy knows this guy, I would say that my stand-up comedy chops would go as far as, and I'm not even lying, would go as far as the individuals that were on Living Color and SNL and stuff like that. But aside from that was it,
And that is what my suspicion was. Then that is why I picked you. So it is a stand-up comedy special. So no 2 episodes of anything. It's just one special. It's an hour special. And the hour special, the comedian's name is Nate Bargatze.
Okay.
He is a clean comic, but one of my favorite things about him, and it's something I think is the biggest compliment that a clean comic can get, is when I saw his comedy special, I thought he was hilarious. And then I heard later he was a clean comic. It didn't even occur to me that he wasn't, that he was clean, because he's fucking funny. And so I know you're a family man, and you may have to put this on in front of your kids, and whatever. So it is completely PG, but it's really funny. So the name of the special is called The Tennessee Kid, and it's on Netflix.
Sweet. Okay, I'll check it out. The Tennessee Kid.
Netflix. A lot of marriage jokes, a lot of family jokes, and just life observation. So
sweet. I'm in.
I'm very curious to hear your take on it.
All right. Very cool.
All right.
Another clean comic is Brian Regan. And a lot of people that go blue, love him because it's like it's not like a Seinfeld. It's some people are so good, you don't even notice that they're not vulgar. They're not even being what they call blue. They're not cussing. They're not whatever. There's a lot of stuff that's funny because motherfucker, like, they need that little emphasis.
Yeah.
Right.
They do it. It's just a choice. It's nothing's better than the other, because fucking Chris Rock or Chris Tucker without cussing is may not be as funny, but like, it's whatever your choices and whatever when you go up as a stand-up, it's almost like it's your character. Like Andrew Dice Clay is not like that 24/7, but he goes up as a character. But I'm interested as well because I like people who you don't notice that they're not cussing because you're so involved in the fucking story.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And I even liked I didn't even know they weren't cussing, but like the Blue Collar Tour, not so much Larry the King, or Larry the Cable Guy,
Right.
but Foxworthy and Bill Engvall. The here's your sign. Like you don't notice it because they're doing it without cussing, but it's just you're still involved in the story. So
Yeah,
that's a good choice. Sorry, go ahead.
Sweet.
No.
Speaking of Last Mohicans, I know I just did it to you guys again. Do you guys remember when you got a Happy Meal, you had your choice of Home Alone? This is how old I am. Home Alone, Last of the Mohicans, or Forrest Gump. It was so random. Like,
serious? You remember?
Yeah, you did. It was so weird. That's my last interruption. But I held my hand up like 3 times and I got it all out. That's what she said, and I'm good.
Wow.
It's a very fascinating pick on a Happy Meal. All right, and so we're moving on to the comment section of our podcast, which has easily taken up a third of the podcast. Which this is not a complaint. I'm very happy that we have comments to read because that means that it's not just going into the abyss, that people actually give a shit and they want to talk to us about it. So without further ado on it, we're diving right in, and this is for episode 49 of the podcast on our YouTube channel, and this is by Melissa Morales, and her comment to it, and this was on a very good question that Andres brought up while on an episode that I was not on, but no shade, I'm not holding resentment at all or anything. They were talking about what movie always gets you emotional, and it turned into a phenomenal debate of just like, oh my god, it's this, it's that, it's the other. And so Melissa wanted to weigh in on that. So she just listened to the episode 6 days ago. So it was right at the cutoff where we were recording the last episode, which is why we're reading it now. The movie I always get emotional during is My Girl. Lion King.
Hey, I said My Girl.
Yeah. My Girl, Lion King, and Toy Story. Toy Story, the first Toy Story. I don't know if I got emotional in the first Toy Story. Lion King for fucking sure. Mufasa does.
The first Toy Story?
But you never know what the person's identifying with. Like a best friend that he just made, like Buzz and Woody. You never know. Who knows why fucking dad? Like the freaking Lion King hits us hard because we're close to our parents. That might not hit somebody as hard. You know what I mean?
No, that's very true. We established that last week, didn't we? Oh, you're right.
Yeah, thank you.
That was more of a, oh, that's right. Why didn't I think of that? Not yeah, I already fucking know this. I apologize.
Fucking Ash.
God damn it.
You're not helping. He's like, not trying to help. So yeah, very good point. I'm curious. I would like you to comment on your comment, Melissa, if you can let us know what aspects of what part in Toy Story, because I'm thinking of the emotional side of it is when I guess she starts playing with Buzz instead of Woody. Is it that, or is it when Woody is gone and the other toys are sad and thinking about him? I don't know.
I mean, if she's leaning on Toy Story, I mean, the third one was a fucking tearjerker, dude.
Oh, they were all gonna die, dude. Of course.
Exactly. And then the fourth one was a tearjerker too. So
the fourth one too well, to be honest. I saw it, but
yeah,
I didn't remember it too well.
The third one is the one with Sasso the bear, right?
Yes.
Or
Lotso, yeah.
And the fourth one is
the fourth one, the villain is Gabby.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh man, you're in for a treat. Make sure you bring tissue.
Okay.
It was good.
Oh god, okay.
It was good, and I'm gonna put a but in there. But the whole like forky spoon thing, like I don't know, like it felt like the sequel we didn't ask for that they were giving us. Does that make sense?
I agree. Toy Story 4 was a sequel that we did not ask for, but it was still well done. The one thing that I know that I've told my wife about that I didn't like is they made Buzz revert back to how he was in the first one, like very naive.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, he's come so far, like, and then he's there. Maybe Buzz is maybe in the movie in a combined time of maybe 20 minutes. You know, that he's in the movie. It's mostly centered around Woody and Bo Peep. That's what it's centered around. You know, so that's the one thing that
That's
I
the one
told
where he
him.
chooses to leave.
I
When he
mean,
chooses to leave the group. That spoiler.
yeah, that's a big one.
But yes, it is.
Good thing that doesn't happen.
It's also like 5 years ago, so it's shame on you if you haven't seen
It's
it.
like 2 years ago, dude.
Oh, thanks for that.
I'm sorry. That I thought that was 3. Which was the one where we find out like all the toys were the mom's first, and that was like, oh,
He's just gonna give away the ends of all of them.
That's still 4.
He's gonna start just giving
Goddamn.
away the ends out of all of them.
That the one with so guys?
That would be funny.
Is that the
if
one
I could
where
remember
Bruce
the rest of
Willis
the ends
goes?
of the other ones, I would. But anyway, go ahead.
Is that where
I'm
Bruce
trying to
Willis-
differentiate because I'm trying to see if I saw part 4. Sorry.
Well, it's on Disney Plus, so there's that.
Check it out. So Melissa, if you're listening, we would love to know what part of Toy Story, and if it's also if it's the first one, because there's been several films. Next comment.
If I may interject, sorry, but I just recently saw a comment on, you know, that kid from the first movie that makes the toys or like took the toys apart and made them different things, and it's kind of
Yeah,
said to be
Sid.
scary, or Sid.
Yeah.
So I saw a post where it's like, what if he was just trying to be like it was based on art. Yes, it was dark art, but like he was just trying to be an artist, and he didn't know that the toys were supposed to come alive. And like ever since that, I was like, that's a good point. Like, what if this is just like a kid trying to express himself, whatever way that he can?
Was he not putting fireworks in them and blowing them up?
Yes, he was. He was destroying the toys.
But that could be a fireworks show.
Sure, blowing shit up.
The argument can be made that it's like he was like, you know, being this crazy little kid, but then he was also touching his artistic side. I could see that.
Yeah, as he's laughing as he's ripping off the doll of his sister's toy.
But he had all those tools in there. Like, what kid has those types of tools in his room? Like that. I mean, that is a little unorthodox, to say the least. You guys have tools like that in your room?
I'm just playing devil's advocate. You know, like what if he really just was trying to engineer robots back in, you know, or whatever his way was of expressing himself.
Carmen, that's
granted, maybe burning or fireworks included in the show, maybe a little extreme. Got it. Okay. I took a note on that, Andres. Thank you for that highlight. But I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Also, because laughing. I was really scared when they do pan out the camera to his room, so I was like, "Oh, it's so scary."
I'm just saying, like it's just one of those things where it's like that's a stretch where you're saying he's trying to reach his artistic side. The child is laughing as he rips his sister's doll's head off and puts a pterodactyl skull on it.
It's pretty cool, though.
Now we know how Luis was made, like grew up.
I know that there was some theory of Sid being in another film. There was a T-shirt, or there was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, the Sid had that shirt with the skull on it.
The skull shirt, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a character in a different Pixar film. Oh, there it is. So there the trash, and I'll have a picture up on the screen right now. But the garbage person in Toy Story 3 is wearing the same skull shirt that Sid was wearing in Toy Story 1. And so the theory is that never mind. I just Googled it, and Lee Unkrich, the director of Toy Story 3, confirmed that the garbage man in Toy Story 3 is in fact Sid grown up. So he's like listening. He's on his headphones and he's listening to rock
Right.
music. That's Sid. So, little fun fact for you guys.
Nice.
And this poor guy wanted to
If
be
you
an
think
artist.
of it like The Last Action Hero, it's somebody's writing your fucking life to just be shit. If you don't know the reference, go watch Last Action Hero. Sorry, go ahead. I almost called you Esteban. Sorry, Luis.
That's a great compliment. Okay.
Oh. Stop.
Moving on.
Go on.
The comments on our YouTube channel is on a sketch that we released called Whiskers. It was directed and edited by Ash. And Melissa has a question for me.
You edited it.
Oh, I did edit it, but you directed it. You told me what to do. Melissa wanted to know, how was the sandwich? And funny story about that. I told Ash during these COVID times, I'm like, I should probably take that home. And he agreed. And I didn't take it home. So I imagine that Ash threw it away. So I never actually got to eat the sandwich because I was really full. We had just had pizza. So that's the story. I don't know how the sandwich was, but it looked delicious.
But I did get to put the meat to your mouth several times.
Yes, you did. Because I kept forgetting my lines.
On
Sure, that's-
purpose.
Sure, that wasn't the only few several times that you put meat in his mouth.
Ew.
It was a blooper.
I was Pippin, he was fucking Jordan.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that's sweet.
That's very sweet of you. You told him that he was Michael Jordan.
This is the,
No,
this-
I called Andreas Michael Jordan because I set up the joke and then he fucking slammed
Oh, I
it.
thought it was me. God damn it! What am
Oh,
I?
no,
Dennis Rodman? I
you're
just
the
show up
towel boy.
sometimes.
Towel boy.
Yes, your Dennis Rodman shows up in a wedding dress.
Yay!
Awkward.
All right. So, question:
You get
How
Carmen
good-
Electra.
How good would we be at sucking dick? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God.
I said
Here
I'm
we
kidding.
go.
I said I'm kidding. All right. So next.
I'm gonna need another drink if we're gonna talk about that.
Oh,
Now we know his limits.
I know. I was gonna say I could easily say no and not need a drink.
all right. So this
What are you
is
gonna
on Comics episode 49 as well, from Vanessa Ayala. I'm down to watch. Okay, I'm gonna need some help on this one. She says, I'm down to watch Saint Maud. Saint Maud? Haven't
Mhm.
seen it. SMAUD. Saint Maud?
It's St. Maud, yeah. I brought it up.
You did bring it up.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory. That was the episode I wasn't in.
I think we were talking about Hereditary and Midsummer, and I had to mention their Saint Maud.
I don't know if
So it's in that style.
it's in that same style.
Yeah, similar. Where it's not an Ari Aster film, but it's in the style of like kind of the A24 new type of horror movies they're putting out.
Yep.
So I suggested that movie.
Is it Midsummer? I thought it was Midsommar.
It's Midsummer.
Summer.
Some.
It sounds like summer, but it's Sumner.
Oh, I've been calling it Midsommar. I'm an idiot. Okay.
Makes
All right.
sense because of the spelling.
Yeah. I saw that opening weekend. It was a very strange film.
Mhm.
Strange is good.
Strange is good. I mean, but it's not what I wanted. I thought I was gonna get like the shit scared out of me. So when I saw it and I'm seeing like the orgy scene, I'm like, what is happening? But
That's why I told Ash he could see that one. I don't think it's
Oh,
not too much
100%.
gore.
because that one's more of like a mind trip that more so than it is a scary film. And because it's one of those films that like 2 days later you're still thinking about it and you're just like, God damn, like resonates. It just sits there. Makes a home. Anyway.
Since we're on horror, I think the new Mike Flanagan series on Netflix starts. What was it? Midnight Mass. I think that's what it is.
Mhm.
I think it's coming out either today or
Is that
tomorrow.
horror?
Huh?
Is it a horror film?
It
Mhm.
is not a movie; it's a series, and it's from Mike Flanagan. So the guy who directed *Haunting of Hill House*. That's his movie
Because
or show. Sorry, I said.
I hope it's okay because I saw a trailer to it and it looks like it's like it looks preachy.
I think that's supposed to be like evil preachy, where
Got it.
religion is not good.
I'm good with
But
that.
yes,
Okay. Because I was like, the title Midnight Mass sounded eerie and cool. Then when I saw the trailer to it and it's like all these miracles start happening, I'm like, the fuck? I'm not watching this. But it never like hooked to but here's the twist. Like it was just, it left it at a wholesome note. And I'm like, I'm not watching some religious shit.
so it's Mike Flanagan. He is the writer director for Hill House. Well, he adapted the series, and he did. God damn it! I forgot the name of the Stephen King show that I wanted to say. Anyways, so if you see recurring cast from like Hill House or what was the other haunting of? So
Bly
yeah,
Manor?
Bly Manor. So if you see recurring cast members, he usually falls in love with his actors. Plus, he's married to one of the Katie Seagal. So if you see anybody you remember, it's because he has his like following of old people that come out in his movies or shows.
Got it. Okay.
What's the, because it gave me real, there was a Showtime, and I was trying to find it right now. There was a show that came out on Showtime. Was it called The Outsider? It gave me very much those kinds of vibes. And it was this guy that, you know, came back home, you know, and it was
Was that only for one season?
I think it was only for
Okay.
one
I
season.
think it was HBO.
X. Yeah, it starred Jason Bateman, right? In like 2 episodes.
Yes,
That's The Outsider.
that's The Outsider.
It was another one where, yeah, it's like it was
Very
very
good
like
show, by the way.
no, yeah, that's on my queue to watch, but it came out a few years ago, and it was a graphic novel. It was a horror graphic novel, and I'm pretty sure it was on Showtime, and it followed around this guy that came back home, and like a lot of this weird shit was happening in his neighborhood, but it all revolved around, because it had happened to him, like this possession, like it had happened to him, and then he moved or he left, and then he came back home for whatever reason, and then now it's happening all over again. I'm trying to remember what it was, but it gave me those vibes, those types of vibes, and I can't remember for the life of me. I can't remember what it was called. Anyways, sorry, go on.
Yeah, because I'm thinking of like that. What you described sounds similar to the Lovecraft Country.
Okay.
But that's HBO Max also.
Right.
I don't know, but
It was like centered around like this black goo or I can't remember. I only remember bits and pieces of it. But if anybody listening knows what I'm talking about, let us know in the comments below.
And so the second piece to Vanessa's comment was no King Taco. I would rather eat some real Mexican food. Vanessa, let's fight. Let's fight. I love King Taco.
Love me some King Taco.
Same here.
And how is that not real Mexican food? I mean, I get it. It's like commercialized, whatever, but it's still pretty legit. I mean, it's not fucking Taco Bell, you know? Like it's
I think she's just saying that you could get better tacos somewhere else. I don't think that she's saying it's not good, because if that's let me just kind of defend her, because I like King Taco, but if I'm craving tacos, I'm not gonna go to King Taco. King Taco is the place I go to where the other taco stands that I go to are not open.
That's like the drunken spot to go to,
yeah. Their green salsa, amazing. I love it, appreciate it. It's really good. Hit the spot. The sopes also hit the spot.
Just not down with the line. There's always
the line, their system, because it's like somebody that got there after you is already getting the food at the other window, but your window like is not even being called, and if you go to the window, they think you're rude, but it's fine. So but yeah, I get down with some tacos. Taco night. Let's do that.
Yeah, Comix goes to Taco Night, not Del Taco. Taco Night.
No, we should do. Each of us choose. Sorry, Esteban. Each of us choose a taco place. We all bring 5 or 6. and then we all
Ooh.
fucking
Yes.
we all 5 or 6. So that means like I was gonna say eat Andres' taco, but we all rate the tacos of of what we choose, and we choose which ones are the best without like Andres is A, Esteban B, like we all that's
Right.
whatever it is, and then we just say B's the best. Just choose like that. That'd be fun. Hey,
Would be
let's
fun.
go.
That's
Taco
happening.
night.
It's happening. And then we're gonna have to shoot out to. We're gonna do a road trip out to Arizona and visit Zach and see what taco place he has out there because he's the next comment. And in normal Zach fashion,
Yeah.
reporting for duty, 5-star General Zach. LOL.
No. Get out of here.
After
With
he's
that
been
5-star
missing
general
for like
shit.
5-star
Yo,
general.
he
Zach?
comments every fucking. No, I'm giving him this title. You keep it, Zach. You keep it.
No.
Number one fan here, Zach. Congratulations
Number one
on. Hold on. This gets good. I love this comment. This is on episode 50, by the way. Congratulations on 50 episodes. As someone who has been serving the Comix army since day one, I've watched this podcast and I've watched the host grow and evolve. The show is getting better all the time, even with SD buffering, Luis's cat stroking, Ash's
Ugh.
scatterbrain rants, Andres's appearing then disappearing from the Zoom constantly, Carmen's adventures in doggy daycare. The adventure was as epic as ever. Can't thank you guys enough for including me, and I look forward to participating more in the future. By the way, Netflix series for the group to check out, Money Heist. It's got 3 seasons, originally filmed in
Oh, I love
Spanish.
that. It's so good.
Ooh. All right, we're going to talk about
Sorry.
that in a sec. It's about a robbery, big surprise. Haha. It's a lot of action, a lot of twists, a lot of turns. I think you guys would enjoy it. Comix Podcast, you have yourself a great day, and check you later. All right, Carmen, you've seen Money Heist.
I've seen the first 2 seasons. I think that the third one just came out, and I have not caught up with that yet.
Look at that, Zach. You know exactly what's up our alley. I haven't seen it yet. I've seen it. I think it might be on my queue, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I think last time I had Netflix on, it like opened up to the new season and it showed the trailer. It was really, really good. So it caught my interest. So I'll probably end up watching it too.
It's a really good show. It's a Spaniard show, I believe. It's from Spain. Some of it is in Spanish. It is dubbed, and it does have subtitles, whichever way you want to watch it. But it's really, really good. I don't want to compare it to Ocean's 11, 13, or whatever, like Ocean's kind of, because it's like a group kind of like doing a heist. It's very different, yet similar to it. So I do recommend it. I agree with Zach that it's a good watch. I can't speak for the third season, but the first and second season were really good. The actors are really good, and it's not a show where you're kind of left to like, why are they doing this? It kind of tells you the why, it tells you how. So overall, a good roundup show. So yeah, pretty good.
That's a strong recommendation. I think I might throw it onto my queue, or I'm sorry, I'll throw it onto the next to watch once I finish the last episode of Squid Game, because holy fucking fuck, Squid Game. Had anyone started it? Anybody?
I just saw the trailer the other day as well. It looks really good.
Yo, I'm 7 episodes in. My girl doesn't do subtitles though, so we're watching the dubbed version, which isn't bad. Dub sometimes takes me out of it when I see their lips flapping and they're speaking something different.
That's how the trailer came out. So, yeah.
In dubs or subs?
In dub.
Oh, really? It's funny. Mine came out in subs. And she's
Really?
like, I'm not watching that. And so I checked, and sure enough, they had English. I'm like, how about now? And so first episode, Jesus Christ. Such a good show. Ash, I think you might enjoy it too. It's not horror-y. A lot of the gore. Like people die, but it's it happens.
He doesn't like watching blood, so that's the.
He doesn't like. I think it's gore more so, right?
It's not. Yeah, no, it's. Please, one of my favorite fucking movies is Natural Born Killers. It's not. It's just the setup to shit is not my shit. Yeah. I'm working on it.
Oh, this one will fuck
so that
you
I don't
up
have to hear this shit anymore. I'm working on it.
Holy shit! We're just trying to know what to recommend you.
No. I the last I heard was Money Heist. I honestly didn't hear your title, but I didn't want to cut you off.
Squid Game.
Wood Games?
Squid
Game.
Squid Games.
It's been trending like this past 2 weeks on Netflix.
This is on what? Netflix.
Moneyball.
This is on Netflix. Squid Games and
Money Heist.
Money Heist.
Squid Games is and Midnight Mass, but that comes out next week.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do no Midnight Mass.
I hope that you get them confused and then you put on Midnight Mass.
I'm sorry,
that would be hilarious.
And he's like, "Oh no, this has gone completely wrong."
So if it's like late at night where I don't understand anything and there's all this shit is happening,
and then you can't sleep for days. The thing about Squid Game is that it's these really in debt people. So they're nearing financial ruin, and they get approached to compete in this game, and it's kind of like the Hunger Games ish, where they don't realize that's a life and death game. They just say, "Hey, play some kid games, and if you win, you win." It's a Korean film, so it's ones. Okay. So it's like 4 billion wons, which I looked up, turns out to like 40 million, roughly. And you're like, oh fuck yeah. And so all these people go to compete, but like the first game is red light, green light. And so it's like red light, you can't move, green light, and then you have to run to try to get to the finish line. And then you have to stop because when they say red light, and if they detect like a motion, it's a motion sensor. If they detect movement, you get fucking snagged in the head. And so when the first death happens, everyone wigs, and this is all in the trailer, by the way. So it's not big.
But they're already stuck in the fucking game, like
right. So then everyone's freaking the fuck out. So just like snipe.
Oh.
And so the people that were like paralyzed by fear, and then like this very like angelic voice, green light, like. And everyone's like, I don't want to fucking move. But then they look up and there's a timer that it's like, you have to finish by a certain time.
Oh, shit.
So then, yeah. So it obviously follows like one character. So you're seeing it through his perspective. And then it's just as the show progresses, and it's like there's 6 and they're child games, but there's a life death element to it. It's so good. It's so good.
How long I would last? Red light, what the fuck?
What are the
rules? Luis. Yeah.
No, it is such a good show. Such a good show. Like dubs, whether you watch it in dubbed or subtitles, doesn't matter. It's enjoyable. But anyway, enough of that. That was almost my recommendation, by the way.
I like blood and I like fucking like serial killer shit. It's just more like fucking the curse of fucking Emily Rose where her fucking bones are breaking. Like I don't need to see that. I'm all good.
No, it's nothing like that. It's just it's just this game show. It's Hunger Games, rated R Hunger Games. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. So next comment, and thank you, 5-star General Zach. Appreciate you. And our other general of the Comix Army, heavyweight, no surprise, is our final comment in the comments for today. Congratulations, you guys, on the 50th episode. I'm looking forward to many more. Commemorate this milestone. Let's go streaking. Yes. Esteban, I recommend not to drink a 4-pack of Samuel Jackson before the show. The shit will get you drunk. That was on episode 50.
No, I know it wasn't Samuel Jackson. Samuel Jackson. I ended up killing a bottle of Captain Morgan spiced rum.
Oh, I remember that. But you know he's making a reference to Chappelle's show.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Drunk.
It'll get you fucked up.
What was the line Chappelle says? Maybe you'll even fight.
You
Fight a
fucking fat
person.
bitches in no
You'll
time.
be fucking
That's what he
fat
says.
bitches in no
That's
time.
what he says in the movie, Joe. That's not what I'm saying.
And then he bites the peanuts
Yeah.
that are on the table and he leaves.
It
Oh
gets
my
you
god,
drunk.
so great! I'll get you drunk. Give me fucking fat bitches in no time.
Just yells that out for no
That is one of my favorite sketches. So great. That was the first time I saw Bill Burr in anything, and then
He's my favorite. Other
fucking
than Andrew Dice Clay and Regan, like those are my
Bill
my
Burr.
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, Bill Burr for sure. And I remember in it was like 05 or 04. I was on Netflix and I saw Bill Burr's special. I'm like, oh, that's the guy from Chappelle's Show. And I saw it and I fell in love with his comedy. And ever since then, just following it. But
Can I interrupt you for a second?
fire.
Tom Segura.
Yeah.
Did you see that podcast about Dane Cook's brother stole all his money?
Yes, sir. It sucks.
Isn't that fucked up?
It's very fucked up.
He just explains it how did your heart not just
casually.
slowly he explains it informationally, but as he's talking, you're like, your brother's just, and he did this and he didn't want to give up all the money and he acted shady, but he was just saying it like that. But
because his brother was his manager, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Now, what's a little addition to that is Dane Cook doubled down on himself. So he was going on tour, he was doing all these things, and his brother was his manager, what Ash was saying, and the brother was stealing his money. And so Dane Cook was actually broke because all this money was off on his brother's account. So he turns his brother in, brother gets arrested, and Dane Cook is still broke because they're going to go to court, so he doesn't have money. So what he does is he sells all of his assets and he doesn't get a company to do it, which is normally, I guess, in the business how it's done. He rents out all these different venues to go on tour to essentially make his money back. And so he bet everything he had earned up until that point to do this big stadium tour, and it worked. And I remember going to that show. It was when nobody was bigger. There was not a bigger act than Dane Cook. And I remember going to the show. It was at the Honda Center. Honda Center, Staples Center then. And there was no opener. It's like it was like the show's about to start. I'm all excited, and he just walks on, and I'm like, that's weird, because I had been to comedy shows before. I'm like, there's usually an opener to these, because I was already hyping the person I was with. I'm like, oh, I wonder who's gonna open for them, and it was just him. He does his hour and a half, and he's like, all right, good night. And it was like a very just straight to the point and out. And we later find out it was because of that. It was because he was doing it to be able to pay rent because he lost all of his money. But
damn, I didn't know any of that. Like I saw it like on Tom Segura's like Instagram little clips or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, fucked up.
Yeah.
Like I would have thought Dane Cook was living off like an employee of the month money, you know, like that's fucking crazy.
No shit. Goddamn. Yeah, no. Great podcast. Your Mom's House podcast. Good shit. So we're comments are done. Thank you everybody for participating in the comments. We appreciate you being part of the show. Anything that you guys want to add, if you guys have a request for us, if you have a recommendation for us, let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys. Comment either on any of our socials, on our YouTube page, and we will read it on the next episode. So with that said, we're gonna jump right in. So the first thing I wanted to talk about, Ash, Undertaker. He retired relatively recently.
Yeah.
Are you aware of a project that he's been working on?
Are you kidding? There's stuff that happens that me and Andreas like will send each other wrestling stuff, because if it's like a horrible botch, I myself will put it in as well as Andreas will put it into our chat. But if it's like just random news that you guys aren't going to care about, like me and Andreas will send each other stuff. But yeah, the Undertaker thing, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be really cheesy.
But
The trailer looks really cheesy.
that's part of the fun, isn't it?
Well, they kind of did.
It's a
It
choose
was
your
really
own
cheesy,
adventure.
but I kind of feel like what they were trying for with See No Evil was at least a little bit more horror. Like it was trying to be a little bit more horror. This kind of seems like it's a long segment in a wrestling show. Like it's just a long, especially with what we're used to during quarantine. They would do wrestling matches, and then they would do little segments that were just filmed so that it would go back to, because it was everything you could do without a live audience saying, oh, there's a crash pad there. Oh, they would do every, you know what I mean? They tried to make it like a movie. I feel like it's going to be that, while Undertaker is going to be like, I'm the Undertaker, and everybody else is going to be like, we're at the end. What's going to happen next? It's like Scooby-Doo. It's going to be very Scooby-Doo.
I mean, yeah, it looks fun though. Like, did you ever watch the Black Mirror movie on Netflix?
I saw the show, and I saw the one with there's a chip in somebody's neck, and that's the only one I saw.
So that's a good episode, by the way. But the movie, the Black Mirror film, was a choose your own adventure. It was, as the film progresses, it's like, do I go to the store? Do I stay home? Like shit like that. So
oh yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. There is sorry, exactly what you're saying.
you haven't seen that. You haven't watched that.
No, I just saw it looking cheesy, and I was like,
so are you, because the Undertaker, Escape the Undertaker, it's a choose your own adventure show. You get to choose what you want to do to potentially get different outcomes to it. I don't know. I thought I was really excited about it. No.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna probably do all of them, and then that sounded weird. Probably gonna do all the outcomes and then shit about it later. I'm a wrestling fan. I'm gonna fucking look what I can shit on.
Tell us about it afterwards. Coming out October 5th for everybody that's interested.
I'm in.
Andres, as somebody that was communicated to about it, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'll probably try to watch it on my own. I'm not like super into it. So, but yeah, I'm not like dying to watch it or anything. Yeah, it's cool. If it's good, then yeah, am I expecting it to be good? And not really, but I am hoping to be surprised. I think that's the best way to put it.
If it wasn't the New Day and it was like actors, you know, I would probably take it a little bit more serious. Like it'd be cool, like these kids stumble upon the Undertaker, like their car runs out or whatever, and they stumble upon this mansion. Like that would be cool. Like, okay, the Undertaker's mansion. But it was like, as soon as you see the New Day, you know the New Day is just gonna be the New Day. Sorry.
No. I asked the question. Anybody else have anything to add on Undertaker before I move on? All right. So
Seven's acting like he doesn't watch.
No, I mean, I do watch, but I don't watch, every day or religiously. You know what I mean? So I haven't even seen the trailer, so I didn't even know this Undertaker show was coming out.
October 5th.
October 5th.
October 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Star Wars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Star Wars Visions. Carmen, going to you first. And then we're gonna go around the room. Not canon. What are your thoughts?
It doesn't bother me that it is not canon. So I know the first episode came out already. I have not watched it, but there are other shows. I think Seven, you have talked about them, and I watched some episodes of them, the animated series that were released back in, was it the 90s?
Oh yeah, it was like in the early 2000s, the Clone War. It was like it was done by the same animators that did Samurai Jack.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I quite enjoy those. So I'm definitely not bothered that Visions is not going to be canon. I think it gives a good opportunity for new characters to be developed. Maybe at some point they might be adopted, maybe they
Mhm.
won't. It's fine. But it's like a good playground to have to see what ideas could pop out from it.
Mhm.
And like, you know, like something may come out of that project that may not be related to like this storyline of Star Wars that we're following.
Right.
So I'm all for it. I don't mind at all. I think the art that I have seen so far, and like I said, I have not seen the first episode, which I know is already up, um, looks really, really good. It's very like manga style art, so I appreciate that. It's different, so I mean, I'm still gonna watch regardless. But again, we're getting the Book of Boba Fett pretty soon, so
Mhm.
it's not like they're leaving us out to dry. So I'm excited for it. Seven, what do you think about it?
I actually saw the first episode yesterday night.
Oh, how was it?
They actually dropped all the episodes, so they're all. We don't have to wait for them. They're all out.
Oh, no way,
Yeah,
really?
they're all out. Yeah.
Sweet.
It,
Okay.
it's
Well,
it's
I know what
dope.
I'm doing this weekend, I guess.
No, for sure. The very first one's called The Duel, and it's in black and white, and it's drawn very manga style, and it is gorgeous the way that it's drawn. Like it, from beginning to end, like I was gripped and following it, you know, just trying to stay on top of it and trying to follow the story along. And it's not difficult to follow along or anything like that, but the story, and I understand why it's not considered canon. With this first episode, you know why it's not considered canon. You know, it very much reminded me. Do you guys remember in like when the prequels came out? There was a lot of people that started making Star Wars fan films. There was like this big boom in Star Wars fan films, or just Star Wars, you know, content in general.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of the ones that it reminds me of, it's a lightsaber duel. There's like three parts to it, and it's two guys like fighting, and then they actually, you know, it's really really good. You know, some of the stuff, and some of the fan films are amazing that I've seen. You know, but that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of that. You know, the Star Wars visions. It's that I see them as fan films, and just the ideas and the imaginations that these creators have. You know, I'm stoked to see it. You know, like I said, the very first one's it's awesome. I can't wait for the next ones.
Like a love
So
note to the series.
yeah,
That's
on this,
on Disney Plus, or what is that on?
yeah, it's on Disney
Yes.
Plus.
Uh, not seeing. I haven't seen the first episode yet, so not saying that, not knowing why it's not canon. I don't like that it is not canon because, like you said, yes, I understand why fan films aren't, but this is put out by Disney on Disney
Yeah.
Plus. It
Mhm.
has a name. So cut the bullshit and make the stories you're going to do going forward now. Just it's canon. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to affect any of the universe going forward or in the past. It could be
Right.
just own contained thing.
Mhm.
So that's the. It doesn't make a big deal. No, it doesn't. And if it's good, it's good. I'll watch it and enjoy it. It's not going to make a major difference. But just the coming out saying like, "Oh, it's not canon." It's like,
Yeah, well, when I saw that article, like it bummed me out because after seeing the first one, I'm like, you know, this shit should be canon. Like this is amazing. But seeing the way that it, not the way that it was drawn, but the way the story was told and the era that it's in, it's like, okay, I kind of get it, but I don't, but I understand, I guess, you know. And the episodes aren't very long. They're anywhere from like 14 to like 22 minutes long. They're not long at all, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, they're you know, and I think it's only like 9 or 10 episodes, and Disney just ended up dropping them all the 22nd yesterday. So, but yeah, I saw it. The first one's really really good.
From and I know that you've just said that you have seen it. Are there representations of characters that we know that are different to what we know? Like, are they so different that that's why they chose to do this as a non-canon thing?
I don't think so, because you see a lot of alien races in the first one. You're just kind of like, okay, I know, I know this race, I know this race, I know that race, so it's like, so that's the one thing. It's just like, that's like going to what I was saying is like, I don't understand why they didn't make it canon, because they're referencing or they're showing these alien races that we've all seen, in one form of media or another, and it's just kind of like, okay, whatever. But it's very, it gave me the Seven Samurai vibes with it.
Fuck yeah.
It really did. It really did.
Uh.
Just the way that it was drawn and stuff like that. That's the only thing that I'm gonna kind of like give away for it. But again, because I saw that style, and I'm like, okay, I guess I get why they're not doing it as canon. They're not considering it canon. But to Andres's point, it's like Disney put it out, like fucking make it canon. Like it can survive in its own separate universe, or not its own separate universe, but it's on a separate world,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the art's great. It is very anime, but it's not anime, if that makes sense. To Ash's point, what he was talking about last time, where it's like there's the awkward situation that the character's in, and then you see like the giant sweat drop like coming off of their forehead.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
It's like that. Is it like more?
I love it.
Think it's more like the Animatrix.
Yes.
When you first said you'll understand why it's not canon, I thought like somebody
Vader's
that's
out
dead,
or something.
yeah, or somebody that's dead is.
No. But the what I mean by that is just kind of like it gives off that Seven Samurai vibe to it.
Oh, okay.
It's like I get it, like why it's not canon. You know what I mean? Because the setup looks very like rural Japan. You know what I mean? It really does. It gives off that plus like a spaghetti western type thing to it. So it's like
that's what Mandalorian did too. Sorry.
Right, exactly. No, absolutely. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it, but like, why not make it canon? Like, it doesn't make sense, you know? Like we saw that style in The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
You're just adding a little bit extra to it, because it's like when you see the costume designs in that first episode, like it's just kind of like, okay, that's very traditional Japanese attire. You know what I mean? But it's just kind of like, okay, fine. But like Andres's point, like he was saying, it's like, make it be in a different world, but still in that Star Wars universe. You know what I mean?
Is there anything that happens in it that you've seen so far where you might feel like the company or whoever's in charge doesn't want to commit? Is there anything that does that make sense? Like, does a character maybe not die, but they don't, does something happen that they don't want to make it part of that world?
I guess, but these short stories, like it does kind of give you wanting more of that particular story,
Are they all different stories?
They're all different stories. It's not one continuous story.
I'm so fucking in.
Yeah. It's not one continuous story.
Oh my god, that's so awesome. I'm in.
So and all the animation is different. The different styles of animation,
different creators.
Different.
Right. That's why you said Animatrix.
Yeah. Right. So this first one is very Animatrix style, but it doesn't mean that you're not, 3 episodes in, you're going to get the traditional, not traditional, but the newer anime with like the awkwardness and like the part, I guess, that you don't like, Ash, or that takes you out of the actual story.
It does.
Halo, the Halo franchise did something similar 5 years ago, maybe more than that, 10 years ago. It came out with a series called Halo Legends.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of little animated films around the Spartans of the Halo franchise, the Halo video game franchise. And there were some that was like so sick, that was so true to what I thought the universe was. But then there were some that took liberty at those anime liberties. of like they're gonna like what, like all that stuff, and it's just like like that's not what I want, But that's probably why they decided not to make it canon. Is they say tell the creative forces behind their short, do what you want, and they're not a part of it really, and so it's like, okay, we're gonna push it, but we're not putting our hands in it. It's gonna be your creative vision. That's why it's not canon. That's not to say though that it won't, if for whatever reason there's fans that are gravitated to a particular character, that's not to say that that character won't live on in some other facet, like, because we've seen that happen before.
Oh, absolutely.
God, Star Wars is just one of the most immersive universes to really develop and create character, like fucking Boba Fett.
But that's why it's so weird that it's not like, why can't you accept it if it's not going to affect anybody that we're used to? Like, if it's not Darth Maul fucking doing cartwheels, then you know what I mean? Like, it'd be fine. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, if it's all
I would pay money. I would pay money to see Darth Maul do cartwheels.
That's weird. That's probably some. There's probably some kind of.
That's probably why it's not canon.
There's some guy dressed as Darth Maul on Hollywood Boulevard doing cartwheels for you if you want.
And you could pay him.
He takes photos for tips. He's very aggressive about that.
I always got weird. Like say it goes Batman into Detective Comics into there's a third one and I can't think of it right now.
Dark Knight.
Because it would be Batman, but then there would be this weird emaciated Batman. Because that was his style of drawing. Emaciated.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to continue the story, but all of a sudden Batman would be like almost like this weird. It almost looked like a Man Bat, but like in the costume. And I'm like, oh, it just takes me. This whole story takes me out of it.
That was,
you know what I mean? Like
Dark Knight. That's David King that you're talking about.
You know what I was talking about.
I know exactly.
Yeah, he draw them all weird. The cool thing was like when he drew him, like his cape looked dope, like almost like it had a mind of its own. But at the same time, it would be like you're continuing a story, like Dark Knight Rise. Not Dark Knight. I can't think of anything right now. But like, and I'd be like, I can't follow anything because you're just making Batman look like, you know what I mean? Like, no, I'm done.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it reminds me of that, like Gotham Knights in when it was all drawn different and they were all doing different stories, and there was just one story that was all like, what are you doing? I don't know. It's just weird. Like, it's still a human being. He's not like all like a fucking zombie. It was just always so fucking weird how people drew him just different. It's artistic and I appreciate it, but it's just weird.
Don't disagree.
What happened on this?
Oh no, I just said that it's just a different style of art. Does it really pull you out like that much?
Yeah, because the way they did it, it was almost like the what if that we just saw with the zombies, but with more skin. The way that they would draw that Batman was just like it's a person. It's not like fucking like you fucking
Just
I don't know. It's weird.
Look in that world.
Yeah, no, I agree, but just not every. I don't know. It was just weird. I appreciate it. I still bought it. I still have my money.
All right. Well, that is for Star Wars Visions. We're moving on. I'm gonna kick it to you first, Andres, on this one. Fantastic Beasts #3, Secrets of Dumbledore. Thoughts?
I need to watch the second one before I watch this one. It kind of fell off. I actually really liked the first Fantastic Beasts. I kind of know stuff that happened in the second one, and that's probably why I didn't like. I was like, oh, this is some bullshit, so I didn't go watch. But yeah, am I pumped? Yeah, I would like to see the story just because it's Dumbledore and we get some more story on Dumbledore from the main Harry Potter series. So yeah, I'm pumped to see it, but I just got homework to do beforehand. Yeah.
I saw that film before I saw the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What did you think of it before seeing the?
I didn't think it was bad. But I knew right around the time that the film came out, that was when
The stuff with
yeah.
yeah.
Ezra Miller. That's the shit when the Ezra Miller was going down. But then I think what's his face got in trouble too. Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
because he got recasted right after the film.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was the whole fucking Amber Heard, caca,
Mhm.
in bed, all that. But there was, and I'm still paying on it. That was that is forever one of my favorite clips. If you don't know what I'm talking about, guys, it's a it's a joke that Ash made that I still hear the tone, the way the joke was said. It's really good.
You nailed it perfect. Like I heard your voice, but it magically sounded like his voice in my head.
But I'm still paying on it. Yeah. Nah, that one wasn't as good. But yeah, there was like all the scandal shit with it. So
Yeah.
I watched it with that lens of like, oh, it's gonna be a bad film because of all that drama. But fucking post-production, that film, the drama happened like 6 months later. So
Mhm.
yeah. So I thought it was a decent film. I know that a lot of the Harry Potter fans weren't happy with certain things that were done, but at that time when I saw it, I hadn't seen any of the Harry Potters. Keep in mind, I saw those within this year. 2021 is when Luis have seen all the Harry
Because
Potters.
the rest of us made you.
It's out on Peacock.
It's up back on Netflix or HBO.
Hulu.
HBO.
I'm sorry, Hulu.
Oh,
Back
HBO
on
Max. It's not on HBO Max. Sorry.
It's back
The
on. I fucking bought it. I paid the $60 on Voodoo for it, and I'm like, God damn it. Anyway, it's 4K.
That's good.
Is there a lot of, I don't want to say reference. Is there, how would we want to say it? Is there, because it's a prequel, but not a prequel, but is there a lot of references to Harry Potter?
No.
Not in the first.
The book is referenced, right? The book's the same book they have.
The only thing that really is referenced is that Dumbledore, which is the leader of the fucking school, the Hogwarts school, he's young here. That's really the only thing. Outside of that, like, I watched it not knowing anything of Harry Potter, and I thought it was relatively enjoyable. So there's still enjoyment to be had.
Fucking Dumbledore, man. That's almost Mufasa level. When I saw that scene, I was like,
really? It hit you?
Yeah, well, it's a father figure. It's another, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's just
you don't know how good that makes me hear you guys talk about that shit after you guys did not want to watch. And then
Shut up, you nerd.
Oh.
Shut up, you nerd. Get away.
For sure, man. Like,
Snape was a good guy. No.
That part did bum me out. The Snape part.
A much more sophisticated version, but it's another person that did something for the benefit of this young kid. I'm not comparing it to Armageddon. I'm just saying in the same way I saw it, you know, like
compare it to Armageddon.
This guy that has everything gives it up for something he believes in, a kid he believes, like, it's not even proven yet.
Yeah.
It's not even that, dude. It's not a kid that he believes in. It's the mere fact that he reminds him of his mom.
Yes, that too.
By the Patron name.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and the mere fact that he sees so much of her in him and not the dad, because the dad was such a dick to him, you know, when they were going to school together.
Different when we get older.
See, I love that though. I love that the dad was the asshole, because like it's so easy to be like, oh, both of your parents were saints. It's like, no, your mom was. But your dad was a piece of shit and he picked on Snape.
Yeah.
But Snape still
didn't
dedicated his fucking life to protect you. As much as he hated your dad, he was still in love with your mom.
There was levels.
Absolutely. God damn it. Oh.
That's awesome.
I mean, awesome, but it's heavy. It was fun. I'm like,
you dorky motherfuckers, mate.
I
didn't
still
watch this
believe.
to feel
I
things.
still believe somehow, even though there was no kind of maybe saving grace for Snape at the end, I still feel like it couldn't have went as bad. Huh?
Yeah, of
Did I
course
miss
he had
something?
Grace.
No. Just kind of
They named it.
no. Sorry, go ahead.
Harry named his son after him. Did you not hear? No,
No, I did hear it. I'm trying to think of the.
He's trying to remember the part.
Yeah, I forgot about that actually. Yeah, Harry named his son after Snape.
Yeah,
Is he in at the
At
end
the
of
very,
was this reference to the last
very
one?
right?
yeah. At the end, when the children are all going
all
into
aged.
for the first year,
Yeah.
they're on the train, and he gives his name, and it's Albus Cerberus.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
Part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking A. That fucking no. That series is fucking good.
Told you guys.
I just rewatched the first one.
I'm doing my rewatch right now.
Are you really?
Mhm.
It's so we're going to Universal Orlando in November.
Oh shit! Now
Yeah.
you have to get
Nice.
a vest and the cloak and go full out.
Dude, I'm probably gonna buy a wand, I'm thinking, but we're rewatching it so that when we go there, it can feel like, because they have the Hagrid's ride there. They have
Have you-
I guess the Forbidden Journey is the same as the one that's here.
Oh really?
Supposedly,
I think so.
because
I
it's
think so.
all through it's all like CGI
In the castle?
shit, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a the Gringotts Spank. There's
Mhm.
a roller coaster of Gringotts Bank, and then there's a Hagrid's ride. Oh, and then there's also an exclusive ride if you have a hopper. That's the train. That takes you to Hogwarts. And
Yes.
supposedly, there's like LCD screens on the sides that'll make it seem like you're traveling through worlds. So it's like feels like
Dude.
righty.
I'm jealous now.
Dude, I'm pretty excited.
That's cool, man.
I was ready to get on these things even before, but then it was a combination of me and my girlfriend were talking about going on this trip, and then you keep fucking talking about these films.
So did Dana watch it beforehand either?
She said she read the first two books and that she had watched them, but it was so long ago that she didn't remember them very well. So when we were watching them again, she's like, "Oh, I don't think I saw this." Like, I think she saw a movie, skipped one, saw another movie, skipped one. Like, it was like separate, because she's not very invested in the nerd culture. Like, she doesn't find the need to go from beginning to end. You know, she's
Right.
like, "Oh, my friends are going to the movies. Yeah, I'll go." Like, she was that person. But anyway.
Yeah, to be honest, Luis, you'll really like it out there because Diana and I went to the one out here in Hollywood, and that one's really cool, man. Like, it's really cool. The Florida one is, I believe, a little bit bigger than the one that's here in Hollywood. So you'll dig it. You'll really dig it. There was one ride though that it pissed me off that I couldn't get on because I was so tall. I tried to like slouch and everything to try to get into the ride, and it just wasn't working. And I was pissed off because I couldn't get on the ride.
The Forbidden Journey, the one with the over the
Yeah.
harness.
Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah, they're just like, can you slouch anymore? I'm like, if I slouch anymore, I'm gonna fucking break my back. Like, legit. Like, I was sitting like a fucking ogre, dude, just fucking
trying to get in. Oh no.
Yeah. So,
I'm too tall. I have too much money. Like, God, yeah, you're the problems you have.
wow.
You're like,
Asshole.
how big's your dick? 8 inches? Oh, 6 minimum. Ah, damn it, Carmen's back. I started the setup because I thought Carmen was. Damn it, 12-inch dick? You gotta be 8 inches. God damn it, my big dick. God damn it. God damn my big dick. All right.
Last time you saw my dick.
I want to tell you. All right. So
you see the drunk people doing things when the guy ran into the wall, but it was like a setting like the Harry Potter. He just ran straight into a wall.
The platform.
It was acting like, you saw it, Stefan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was acting like it was gonna go into the Hogwarts. He just ran into the wall, got up, and then ran away. But it was so funny because it was acting as if he was running into. It was the
so
exact
confident.
setup.
Yeah.
Like it looked like he, but it was so funny. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, he got denied at Howard. That's
He got
that's,
denied.
that's what's
You're
happening
probably not
there.
going.
He's gonna wake up somewhere.
You muggle piece of shit. I know these words. Okay.
Fucking nerd.
So I would like to segue off of the show and ask a couple questions regarding the something, a TV show scene or a movie scene that means something to you, and what that can be, whether that can be something as simple as, oh, I like it because it reminds me of me, or it could be something a little bit more complex as this actor made the creative choice to do XYZ and I noticed it and I want to talk, and these are the things that are going on in my brain that I wanted to showcase. So I would hope that everyone has their answers locked and loaded. I'm gonna go with Esteban first. Esteban, what scene in a TV show or film do you was the one that you decided to pick, and why?
It was actually the entire movie, The Machinist, the one with Christian Bale.
Good film.
It's a phenomenal film. If you guys haven't seen it, the one thing that like Luis was saying, that committed to something like that, Christian Bale, if you guys don't know, is a method actor. The man commits himself to the roles. So in order for him to get ready for that role, he had to drop a lot of weight. So when you guys see him in this movie, you guys decide to see him, or even if you Google him, I'm sure he'll show up somewhere here. You'll see what he looks like in the entire movie, and the dude lost a shit ton of weight. He is skin and bones. I am, and that is not a metaphor. Fucker lost a lot of weight, and he lived on what he said was one apple and a can of tuna fish, and that's what he would eat every day. That's what he had to survive. The crazy thing about that he lost so much weight in that movie. If you see his next movie, which is right after, is Batman Begins, you see the body change like instantly, and it's just one of those things where you're just like, he just finished the fucking Machinist months ago, and now he's bulking up to do Batman. And you can, when you compare the two, it's just one of those things where I'm just like, that fucking commitment right there, and that's the one thing where it's just kind of like, if I'm watching The Machinist, it's like, that his next film was Batman, and if you see him fucking Batman, he's all like, he had to gain like 180 pounds, in a matter of months. So I thought that was fucking dope. That's cool.
Very fucking cool. God damn, it's so crazy to be able to have the discipline to put your body through that is insanity. Ash, you're up. What do you got?
So far, what means what to me is The Crow, Punch Drunk Love, and Gangs of New York, all for different reasons. But all for different reasons, but they all, if I'm going to watch those movies, The Crow lesser, only because like that's my touchstone, and that's like that's it. Mm-hmm. But the other movies are more of an investment in time because they're 3 hours. Or Punch Drunk Love isn't, but it's all it's all for the same reason, but it's all for different reasons. But it's those three movies. But if I haven't pinned it down, it's The Crow, but those three movies.
Okay.
You just went on me.
Wait, no, because you're saying great
The
movies, but what is there a specific scene?
Punch Drunk Love, I will go first, is more, this guy lives the same day every single day, and then meets somebody that makes him become someone else. That makes, not even be someone else, it's like makes him adult. And how do you say it? Everything is about himself, and then he meets somebody and he has to protect somebody, and it becomes in one moment about her. He sees a cut on her forehead and just is not him, and essentially becomes a man. And for you to understand that, you got to watch the movie, because he fucking whips some ass, which he's really a fucking squirrel, kind of a squirrely guy, like, don't touch me, don't nothing. But then, like, he falls in love and his woman got hurt and he just fucks up people. Gangs of New York is another father figure thing. In the end, what he has to do because he hurt his original father figure. It's a thing. But also it's a great story. That's the 3-hour story. Plus fucking the butcher is fucking, that's somebody I would put on my fucking wall. But I don't, I'm everywhere with that. It's funny because I'm thinking about everything that I would say that would make this fucking 3 hours in itself. So I'm trying to fucking segue into different things. And then The Crow is just, again, as I've said before, the ultimate love story, in that you love somebody so much that you couldn't rest. And then not only that, you go from coming alive, being afraid, to figuring out what happened to you, to fucking being really fucking angry, to fucking, it just, the way that it says on the shirt is the way, is everything he went through in that order. And in the movie, they did it perfect. And every fucking movie that did it after it, they just don't do it right. And they just try to make another movie with this fucking actor, and they try to make it like, go be as good as Brandon. It's like, don't just fucking tell the story. Don't try to be the next anything. Just fucking make it your own, you know? And they just don't do it right. Anyway, but those are my three. Who are we go? Back to you, Luis.
So for you, it's not a scene; it's the whole film.
It's
the story. It's the story that the overall
story. There's so many. I'm telling you, man. Like what hits me. Fucking,
I didn't realize how hard of a question that was for you. I apologize.
No, the show The Connors. Like, it just, there's anything that could just. The thing that I was saying with Melissa, we don't know why she identifies with Toy Story, but there might be one scene.
100%.
Exactly. That's what I said. Gangs of New York. I can't watch it every day, but I have to watch it at least once a year. Tombstone. I got to watch it at least once a year. Like, there's just movies that, like, you just got to fucking identify and go through it once a year. Sorry.
I dig it.
It is a very loaded question for me.
I could tell your love for cinema is unlike anybody else I've ever known. So it's a very I can tell how thoughtful your responses were on it, and I can tell that you put some thought into this. So I appreciate you, sir. Carmen, migrating on over to you, to a scene in a TV show or film, or the whole film, that resonated with you, and why.
So there are two films actually that one of them I could recite by heart. Like, I know every line of the movie. And a lot of people think it's a very superficial movie because it was marketed that way, and it probably is. However, it wasn't to me, and that would be Legally Blonde. Um, it's definitely like a chick flick, like, rom com, like super like early 2000s, late 90s movie. Total like not even something that you would say like there's something valuable here. However, for me, it was a movie that honestly, like, I played it over and over again when I was learning how to speak English. So that was one of the things. I learned a lot of my vocabulary or how to pronounce things because watching that movie over and over again. But the thing that stuck with me from that movie was it's she's in law school, and there's this part in the classroom where the professor asks a question, and one of the classmates from Elwood's, the protagonist, answers the question, and the law professor asks him, "Are you sure that that's correct?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, and the professor asks him, "Are you willing to bet your life on it?" And so he hesitates. He's like, like, I just answered a question. I don't know if this should be like this big of a deal, you know? And so the professor was like, like when you're speaking, like, I recommend knowing before speaking because you're going to be held to that. And so like that line has like stuck with me forever because it's like if I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not gonna speak about it. I rather, like, not because I'm gonna look like a dumbass or whatever. It's just because it's like I want to know what I'm gonna say and the reasons why I'm gonna say it. So that's the reason why that movie has stuck with me. That line specifically, at like honestly, like I said, that's one of the movies I could recite by heart, like line by line from the opening scene to the end scene. And I know it's like a frivolous movie, whatever, but I love it. The other one would probably be Juno, the movie Juno, because it's such a hard message. You know what I mean? Like when it came out, it's dealing with teenage pregnancy, and that is not a line specifically, but the whole movie overall, and it's like this teenage kid dealing with like circumstances that are out of her hands, and like she's just like, like trying to deal with like, oh, I have a crush on this boy, and like we did this thing, and like now I'm pregnant, and like now the school knows that I'm pregnant, and like how do I navigate telling my parents, and like I don't want the baby, but like also like abortion is out of the question for me, at least, because I already like played those odds, not the, like whatever battle she was going through. And then like then also you get like this couple that is gonna adopt the baby, and then like one parent is not ready for a baby, one parent like truly is like, motherhood is the thing for me, and I want to be that, and I want to be for the kid. And it's just like the dynamics of all the characters in that movie. Again, it's one of my favorite, I would say probably my favorite movie. It's another movie that I could probably recite by heart because I watched it so many times. And it's just such a good movie because of all the character development. And I know I use that a lot, but I think I identify with that, with the battles that like characters have to face, and like the predicaments that they're in, and like how do they, respond to situations, and like how that makes them or breaks them, and then like how do they build themselves out of that situation. So I think because of that, Juno for me would probably be over Legally Blonde, but again, both of those movies are definitely like in the back of my mind all the time. And like I said, like I could recite both of those movies like no one's business. Go ahead, Ash. Sorry.
Did you see me in Legally Blonde?
Where are you in Legally Blonde?
During the when she's dressed like a bunny. Just look for me. And then 2,
Wait. At the lab party or when she's
the party,
buying the
the
McDonald's?
party when she walks in and she's the bunny and the guy she's with is cheating or something. Yeah.
Okay, I will
And
agree.
2, I do like the person she's with is not ready, but the surrogate, no, the surrogate would be her. The person she wants to give the baby to, adopted mother, that person is attracted to her, who's not ready to have a family. Like, fuck, dude, like that's fucking nuts.
The layers
That was
of that
such
movie. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I also fucking want to take a picture one day with the kissing and the fucking finger to the fucking camera. That will happen just because of that movie. I love that movie. And it will be with Luis.
I'm gonna look for Ash also during the bunny scene. So Andres.
Yes.
A scene or whole movie in a TV show or movie that resonated with you and why?
So I have 3. I'll make it quick since I have a lot. So Ash,
Gangs in New York.
Yeah, because
I saw your facial expression change when Ash mentioned it.
It's gonna be Gangs in New York, and it's not for Leo's character's depiction on that, and his father figures. It's gonna be for Bill the Butcher, and it's only because he is the bad guy of the movie, yet he is so charismatic and not lovable, I guess. Lovable is the wrong term. It's just his charisma so off the charts that you can't help but like him. But he is a sadistic piece of shit, so you do want him to lose. But it's Daniel Day-Lewis's performance is so good in that you just, it's like him in anything. So we mentioned him in The Last of the Mohicans at the start of the podcast, and now he gets mentioned again for this. Any single movie he's ever done is a great performance. I would say checking out his work. I don't have the name of the movie off the top of my head. It just came to me right now, but he did a good portrayal where he's an Irishman in jail, and that's like a really early movie. That's super good.
In the Name of Love?
It might be. Yeah, I don't have it, but if you could find that,
really in the good. Name, I think it is because they played the trailer to In the Name of Love. Yeah, I'll look it up.
But yeah, so that's because of Daniel Day-Lewis. So the next one is going to be a actual series. So this is 3 movies, and this is Sir Anthony Hopkins' portrayal of Hannibal Lecter in the movies, because he is a sadistic serial killer, but he's so fucking brilliant and charming that you fall in love with him. In which he just has a few. He only comes out in it a limited amount of times in Silence of the Lambs, but his portrayal of Hannibal Lecter is so great that there's other that they made a Hannibal, and then he came out in Red Dragon. So that is a great performance, and it's like different. You get to see him more in depth, and they give him more of a story in the others, especially Hannibal, obviously, because he's the main one on that one. So that's really good. And then the third is, so growing up, my parents wouldn't really take us out to like movies and stuff. My dad preferred watching movies at home, but really young they did take us to, my dad liked going to the drive-in movies, and there was a drive-in back in the day in Pico Rivera. That's the one we used to go to. So I see a few movie series. Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks,
In the Name of the Father.
Makes sense. So yeah, there was a movie theater in Pico Rivera back in the day for all those who live in Southern California. And that's where I saw the complete Back to the Future series. And so that series I saw with my family. So it holds like completely at the theater. I remember each one very clearly. So those hold a very special place in my heart. So yeah, those are my three.
Nice.
Back to you.
Oh man, you guys went really deep with this shit. I was expecting like a scene here or there. It's like you guys went so wholesome on me. It's gonna make I already had mine locked and loaded, and I was gonna change it when you guys went wholesome on me, but I'm gonna stick with what my original pick was. The scene
Is it Biodome? Please say it's Biodome.
Yeah.
Wolf and biology.
The scene that resonates with me a lot, or that I think maybe it's a little deeper than I initially thought of it to be. The film is Dark Knight Rises, and there's
You got incel.
what's that?
You goddamn incel. Go.
It's a combination of two things. One, the actor choices of Tom Hardy, and two is the script and the direction that the director put the film in. So the scene in particular that captivates me is when they capture Commissioner Gordon and they bring him back to Bane. And when they take him to Bane, they say, or Bane asks, why are you here? It's like, oh, and then he kicks Commissioner Gordon. Answer him. It's like, I was talking to you. And it's like, well, he was investigating us, and you thought to bring him here. Like, and he's like, check his pockets, and then I will kill you. Like, he just said it so matter of factly and then they're obeying, and they search the pockets, and as they're searching the pockets, the camera pans out and you see them searching Commissioner Gordon's pockets, and you see Bane's hand. It's twitching. It's doing this little motion here that I'm holding up to the camera. Now, what you can't see, or maybe some people do in a UFC fight, when right before you're about to get into a confrontation, or actually any of the gentlemen here that have ever gotten into a bar fight or into a school scuffle, when you have that energy in you, you're either clenching your fist, like clenching and letting go, clenching, letting go, or you're exerting that energy in some fashion, whether it's like loosening your shoulders or something. And a common thing that I used to do was the twitching of the fingertips, of just like, this motherfucker's gonna get it. But his voice is very like, search his pockets and then I will kill you. Like, but the twitching in his hands is showing just how frustrated and angry he is at the situation, even though his voice doesn't show it. That's scene number one that I'm just like, this is fucking amazing. This is deep, and I don't know if the average viewer realizes how deep that is. The second one is a conversation that he has with Bruce during their first encounter, during their fight. That whole fight, I love. And the reason I love it is because it is Batman's first failure. True failure. Is he loses that fight, and he loses it bad. But when he attacks him, maybe 10 minutes prior to this, he's talking to Alfred, and Alfred's saying, this is the League of Shadows, and he's like, I'll fight harder, I always do. Fast forward to the scene where he's fighting Bane, and he's hitting him with everything he's got, and Bane responds very casually, you hit me like a young man, hold nothing back. Like, admirable, but mistaken. Like, it...
Fight like a younger man. There's nothing held back. It's admirable, but mistaken.
So, in a fight, in a boxing match or UFC fight, not every punch is 100%. Nobody has the stamina to go 100% for 12 rounds. We'll say boxing for this notion. So we'll say Canelo. Canelo is a big contender right now, right? Now, not every single punch is hard because the punch that knocks you out is the one you don't see coming. So it's soft, 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 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%, 100%. That 100% is the one that you're hoping will get caught. That's the one that's going to knock you out. If you go 100, 100, 100, you're going to gas out at 30 seconds. This motherfucker has to go 3-minute rounds, 12 minutes. I'm sorry, 3-minute rounds, 12 rounds, unless the guy gets knocked out. And so the idea is it's like soft, soft, tap, 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 hit, tap, 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 hit. Like, and so there's a structure to it. It's a game of chess. And so the idea that Bane acknowledges that, and it's like, you hit me like a young man. You don't hold anything back. It's like admirable, but you're mistaken. Like, I'm not a kid. Like, you're not going to win this fight like this. Like, and it was just such a strong message of, for me, the way I digested all of that is just you don't learn from your victories. And he's like, victory has defeated you. Like,
peace has cost you your strength. Victory has defeated you.
That scene, like, again, this is all that same scene. It's victory has defeated you because this has always worked for you until you fight somebody of your caliber, at which point it's not going to work. But in most cases, Floyd Mayweather being the exception, the champion doesn't change his strategy because it works. They keep fucking knocking people out. They keep winning. They keep doing their thing until they find that one other unstoppable force that stops them. And it's only when we lose, whether it be in life or in an actual fight, it's only when we lose that we have the time to reassess ourselves and ask, why did I lose? What do I have to change about myself? And that's a very big adult conversation we have to have in our own brains, because let's be very honest, we lose a lot in life. Life doesn't go the way we want it to go all the time. And so when we lose, that's when we reassess. Batman, up until this point, has done nothing but win. And so the idea that he says that line to him, first, you fight me like a young man, hold nothing back, followed by victory has defeated you. Like, even before I did. Because you think that this is gonna win, and it's not. And of course I can go into, because this is also a film that I've seen repeatedly, so we can also go into, you think darkness is your ally, which is a thing, but that goes more, and then he loses the fight. But anyway, that is mine. I thought that was such a strong life lesson for all of us. But that's me.
Very cool, man. I like that one. That one's really good.
Thank you. I didn't go as wholesome as you guys, but I tried to bring that up.
No, we're only quiet because we're thinking of it only as Dark Knight Rises. We're not thinking of it as the way you saw it. Not the way, again, I saw Armageddon, like, nobody, you just never know. You know what I mean?
See, Gangs in New York, I saw that movie, and you guys, both you and Andres, were talking about how that tugged you. And it's like, oh shit, not like that. But it's just like, oh wow, like I didn't see that. Same with Legally Blonde. I've seen that film, but I'm just like,
in the same way that he discussed Bill the Butcher is the exact same way. Like, it's like a fucking, you don't want to do it because you're almost falling.
Like, he's a piece of shit.
You're almost not. I don't want to say in love, but you're almost falling in
like,
adult, like you're almost falling in love with the person that killed your fucking dad. Like, you're like, not in love, but like that. But you know what I mean? Like, you're falling into what he would have given you as a dad. You know what I mean? Like, and that's but ultimately you have to, shit's got to get done, son.
It's true. Thank you guys, everybody, for opening up and getting into it. Moving on. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer remake is happening.
Why are you laughing so hard?
I don't think we asked for it, but Andres, kick us off. Is this a reboot that we wanted? Why or why not?
I don't know if we wanted it or not, but I don't mind watching, I guess. It's content there. So I really, really loved Scream growing up. And I know what you did summer was like a slight knockoff, so it was always lesser than. But it was still an enjoyable.
waiting for?
It was, yeah, exactly. It was still an enjoyable movie series. Growing up in the late '90s, yeah, around that. So will I watch? Yeah, probably. And then I'll hold my judgment till then. So it's not sacrilege in my eyes, since it wasn't like the greatest movie series ever. And I didn't mind. I saw some of the Scream MTV series. I think that's right. And
Yeah.
it wasn't bad. It wasn't great either, but I still saw it, and I'm really looking forward to the next Scream with the remaining original cast. So yeah, I'll probably check it out and reserve my judgment till then. But it's not blasphemous, or I don't have anything negative to say.
Andres, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, why not?
Something like Alien, where you're like, when they finally kill Ripley and then they realize like it's not going to survive without her, other than the Alien versus Predator, like other than that kind of bullshit, which I do like those movies. It's kind of like a dream match if you're thinking about wrestling. But anyway, you know how they brought her back, but is it like a replica? Was it a replica? They brought her back, but
She's the
it wasn't
android?
really her. Clone,
Yeah.
the clone.
right? Like, is that
So you
something?
talk about Aliens 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did that bother to or make a difference to me? I saw that movie in the movie theaters, and I noticed I actually liked it when I was a kid. So maybe I am biased or something, because when I grew up, I saw that movie had bad reviews, and I didn't understand it. But hey, like I said, I was a child when I saw it, so maybe I'm into different things at that time. Was that a big deal to me? No. So I saw those movies. I guess by that time I had already saw Alien and Aliens when Aliens 3 came out. So, but I was, like I said, really young, so it didn't affect me. So no, I wasn't.
Resurrection is 4, right?
I believe so.
Yes.
All right.
So yeah, like we had this discussion when we were in our group chat. So we have a group that I mentioned previously on the podcast, and there was, I don't know if we're going to discuss it or not, but there was rumors that they're planning to remake Lost Boys, and like that would be sacrilege, because that is a perfect period piece.
Mhm.
And I know Ash has a fondness for that movie too. And I was like, you don't have to call it The Lost Boys. You could give it any other fucking stupid name and have a teen vampire movie, and you're set. It doesn't have to be The Lost Boys. Like, you're just tying it to existing IP to get the people to watch. Why don't you just go make a teen vampire movie now? Even if you want to set it in the 80s, it doesn't have to, like, do some legwork and don't tie it to the movie, and you won't make people who actually love that movie angry.
Mhm.
So that would be more on the lines of sacrilege than I Know What You Did Last Summer, in my eyes.
Yeah, even like I think people took Scream as a bigger sacrilege than I Know You Did Last Summer, because it was almost like Scream took off, so let's do another thing. And then with these but it was again an original idea, because Scream was different than I Know What You Did Last Summer, but it's still the same genre. It wasn't the same exact story.
Teen slasher.
Yeah.
Slasher film. Yeah.
And when we did this 2 or 3 weeks ago, the scene you almost walked out on, when the Big Bang Theory guy got the hook through the throat. I almost stopped. I almost walked out, but I was on a date, so I was like, kind of like, nope. But that was like the moment I was like, oh, this is too much. Like, Scream was kind of okay because it was kind of a slasher, but it was kind of, this was like a hook going through his fucking throat, and I was like, ooh, nope. Don't think with your brain today, buddy. So I made it.
Oh God.
You look down. I'm in it to win it, bro. Don't you worry.
I made it. Through the movie.
Your junk was telling you to sit the fuck down.
Yeah, right.
Sit the fuck down, bitch boy.
It's been a while for us. We need this. We need this.
If you make it through this, you'll make it through something else later.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Does anyone else have any thoughts on I Know What You Did Last Summer?
It just falls into the category that I've always said that Hollywood's running out of ideas to make shit, so they're just starting to remake all this other shit.
See, I don't agree with that either. Like, there are a shit ton of ideas from a ton of creatives and writers and kids growing up that have, and if the studios want to invest some time and give those creators money to put their whatever they created on and start a new franchise, but that's not the case. It's that they're relying on old IP that they already have the rights of, and they don't have to pay somebody else for their property. They have that already, and they could just throw it to somebody to write something new again that they created, and they're going to rely on nostalgia of the people that like that old shit to come back and watch it and make some easy money. It's not that there isn't new ideas, it's they're lazy and relying on old shit.
Yeah,
So
okay, I can see that.
it give the money to people who haven't been out there, but then that's a risk for them, and that's not a risk they're willing to take when you could name something we've known growing up, and it's going to have some nostalgic pull to you, so you want to see the new version of it. So that's why we're going to go.
Yeah,
You already have your money regardless of how good
It's not even to be fucking like cool. There was a moment you could die at any point with Damien, whether it's the fucking dirt bike scene, whether it's you eating fucking maggots. Like, he had Kiefer Sutherland played that like, in any moment I can kill you. And every picture that I've seen is very like there's no other than the kid with the little like I'm emo kid, but and that's no disrespect to their acting. I'm sure they're gonna do that amazing, but more there's no, I don't feel a sense of danger the way you felt the entire movie. Like, Michael was just like, I could still kick it. Like he was still trying to be like again for Star, but Damien could kill you like that. Not only that, he had 3 other friends that can kill you. We can all just kill you now. You know, like, why is he keeping you? There was a whole reason to it, and supposed to, like, the bigger reason being that was the son of, but not to spoil a 1980s movie, but there was a whole, like, I can kill you now moment. From the cast that I have seen, they're all 95 pounds, and it all looks like, what am I watching? Just kids fighting.
Like, Kiefer, I'm gonna need somebody to check this, but Kiefer Sutherland is like 5'4", maybe. So he's not a big dude, but his acting is imposing. Like, he is a good actor, so he could sell it. So, like, yeah, you do believe. I think he is pretty short, because if you
5'9".
see him, he is not 5'9".
He's 5'9".
If he's 5'9", I'm like fucking 7'5" here.
He's 5'9".
To give credence to that, phone booth, I feel like would have been complete crap. But at the end, when it was Kiefer Sutherland, like, I feel like absolutely, you were absolutely threatened by Kiefer Sutherland the whole movie. Like, if it was fucking
like
fucking-
he has a weight behind him. His
Yeah.
performance.
It's his height is 5'9", and there's right underneath it. There's a Yahoo questions thread. Is Kiefer Sutherland really 5'9"?
No, he's not. See, I fucking told you.
No, but beneath it, it says
He's
his
a Tom
official
Cruise
list.
5'9".
His actor IMDb is 58.5 inches. Yeah, sorry, 58, 5'8".
Yeah,
It's 5'8 and a half.
He's not 5'8", bitch.
Anyway, yeah.
But yeah, no, but nobody has the weight or can play that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just gonna be Vampire Diaries with the fucking name Lost Boys. And if I eat my words, I hope I do, because I want to see a great movie. But just stop using these fucking things.
It's just been rumored. It's not necessarily what's going to happen. And we went into it because we were talking about I Know What You Did Last Summer, and that is actually coming out. And yeah, like I said, it's not as big as a deal to me as say Lost Boys would be.
Mhm.
Well, I'm grateful that you brought up Lost Boys, because that was the very next thing on our list. So unless anyone else has anything to add on Lost Boys or What You Did Last Summer, we'll move it on to our last topic, or second to last topic. Mario is getting a new film, and that was officially announced. It makes a lot of sense. It's under the Universal umbrella within Illumination, the creative minds behind Despicable Me and the Minions, which I'm saying it makes sense because they greenlit 2 years ago the Nintendo World, Super Nintendo World over at Universal, which is in construction right now, and yeah, makes a lot of sense. So. And so we have the cast, and then I'm gonna kick it over to you, Carmen, to see what you think of it first. So I'm gonna read you the cast first. It's currently set to come out on December 21st, 2022. Chris Pratt is gonna be playing Mario. Anya Taylor-Joy is playing Princess Peach. Luigi is being played by Charlie Day. Jack Black is playing Bowser.
That's fucking cool. I didn't know who Charlie Day was playing because I only saw the. Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Jack Black playing Bowser. Keegan-Michael Key is playing Toad.
Who's playing Toad? I'm sorry.
Keegan-Michael Key.
I can see that.
And Seth Rogen playing Donkey Kong. That one made me laugh.
Yeah, I can see that.
See, when I saw the Donkey Kong one, like all I hear is fucking Seth Green or Seth Rogen.
That's probably when he fucking hits the fucking. That's right.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
All right.
Did they say who's Koopa? Not
Yeah,
Koopa.
Jack Black.
Jack Black
is Bowser.
Jack. Oh yeah. I know him as King Koopa because I'm old. But yeah. Oh fuck. I wonder if they're gonna play that funny. Like
they have to. There's no way to do it. The original and the voice actor that they currently use for the games of Mario, he's in the film also, and undisclosed roles. They said that it was going to be a cameo of sorts, but it's an animation and Illumination, so we'll see how that goes.
Do you think he's gonna do an Italian accent, or do you think he's just gonna?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask.
I would think so, probably. Like if he goes to a restaurant to get like spaghetti or something, and you hear the voice, you'll recognize it. So that might be the cameo. It's me. Like, Carmen, what are your thoughts on the new film coming out, Carmen?
I'm excited for it. I love the Super Mario franchise. That is one game that I have played through Nintendo, and then as the last game that you guys know, Nintendo 64, and recently the Wii. So I'm excited for it. I like the actors and the characters that they're playing. I do hope that it is in a comedian sense, as we said. It would make sense that it would be that. So again, excited for it.
There you go. Andres.
Yeah, I was surprised at the quality of the cast members they got in it. So I know that they're spending money, at least on that end, that I don't doubt that they're going to spend money on good writing. So it's going to be an enjoyable film. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I didn't know that this was coming out, and now I'm excited. I am interested to see if they're actually going to make Chris Pratt and Charlie Day have Italian accents.
Hell yes.
They're gonna make Anya Taylor-Joy speak all high like Princess Peach. I'm excited to see the way that they're gonna take it. But yeah, it's a good thing, and I'm actually excited for it, which I did not know until today that this was something coming out. So that's super awesome.
It was just announced today on the
Yeah.
Nintendo Direct. Yeah. Well, today when we record this. Esteban, thoughts?
I'm excited for it. I know my kid's going to be excited for it. I know that much. He's all into Mario right now. So I'm really excited. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. And I think I'm even more excited because I finally got to see Sonic. And I dug it. It was really, really good. So I'm stoked. I can't wait.
Love it.
The one thing that I do hope that they use is the soundtrack from the video games. Like legit, I just want to hear the
yeah.
dun 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 dun.
They might make it all fucking EDC with it. Like they might.
I don't give a shit as long as I hear it.
They're gonna get Skrillex with it or something, but it'll be cool.
And then when he gets a star power, it's like dun, 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 dun.
Oh, they have that. There's so much fun to be had there. Little sidetrack because you mentioned the Sonic the Hedgehog film that you saw. Nintendo also announced today, for those people that own a Nintendo Switch, in mid to late October, they will be releasing an expansion for part of their Nintendo membership. You will also get, aside from their Super Nintendo and Nintendo catalog, Nintendo 64 is being uploaded to it.
Yeah.
And so is Sega Genesis, which is fascinating because it's the first non-Nintendo thing that's going to be going on there.
Just Genesis?
Sega Genesis and the N64. They did mention it's going to be at an expansion cost though.
Damn it. For Genesis or for the Nintendo 64?
For the Switch, because the Switch right now, if you get their online membership, it's $20 a year, which is not bad. My guess is probably another $10.
It's less than PS Network and the other.
Yeah, it's like $70 a year. So so for $20 a year, you get to play online with your games, but you have the Nintendo catalog, Super Nintendo catalog, and then come October, Nintendo 64 catalog and Sega Genesis catalog.
That's gonna be so dope.
And these are all, you don't have to pay any of these. It's all there. And so the games that they are gonna have among the first run is Legend of Zelda, Mario 64. I saw Mario Kart in the demo. Star Fox 64.
A quick story about fucking Mario 64.
Yeah.
This is horrible. My friend. Oh, this is the worst story ever. Okay, so my friend. So N64, we all had the Mario Kart, right? And his girlfriend would be winning at N64. And if she was about to win, he would yank the fucking controller out of her hand, throw it to the ground. I know. Believe me, I know, because I was the one in last place going. So believe me, I know every fucking thing you're thinking. Yes. So and it was my friend, so I was already responsible. So we're playing, and this is me hitting the A button, because if you guys know, if you've ever played 64, this is hitting the A button in last place, and he's about to lose. He would yank the fucking controller and be like, that's because you had the blue shell. That's because you had the whatever reason he was losing. Would you literally yank the cord of the controller and throw it to the ground.
What a little bit.
And he would get first place, but it was the most awkward not down moments ever. And I feel like I brought this out of nowhere, but I feel like Mario Kart got brought up.
You know
So
what's great about this?
But the Switch thing is making
Nothing great about
Luigi
that.
sit down.
That we found out his friend's a little bitch.
Yes,
But-
on that, but Nintendo also announced simultaneously that they're going to release 2 new wireless controllers.
Oh.
One of them, you guessed it, is an
Yeah.
N64 design controller,
Nice.
I still have my own controllers. God damn it!
and the second one is a Sega Genesis controller. And
No
they're
way.
I know. How fucking crazy is that? So they're gonna coming
Genesis.
October between 15th to the end of October. When
Okay.
it releases, they're selling an N64 controller, and then separately they're selling a Sega Genesis controller.
Yeah.
Both of them wireless connecting to the Switch. The controllers are priced at like $39. But
So if I get a Switch, Comix game night.
fuck yeah, no question.
Right. All right. Thunder.
Thunder.
And this actually brings the
Thundercats.
Oh.
Oh no.
And so then that brings the question over to you, sir, about the Mario film coming out. Ash, what are your thoughts?
Because of Parks and Rec, and because Charlie Day is fucking amazing at improv, I'm hoping that they keep everything that may be not off script or not on script. There's a bunch of improv that's going to be amazing amongst them too.
Yeah.
That just kind of almost, as long as they're within the story, just leave them the fuck alone and they could make a fucking amazing movie. Just, you're good. With those two, the way that you did it, it's good. Like, if it was going to be like Stallone and supporting cast, then cool. But the way that they have done this is kind of more, they could make this amazing. I almost say, like, just let them two go, and just because they're so great at improv,
Yeah.
let them go and they could make a story. They can make your movie.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say, because I'm almost looking forward more to Luigi because of Charlie Day.
Charlie Day, yeah.
Oh, Charlie Day is amazing. So just I don't know. I can go on for days about Charlie Day, but yeah, it's gonna be great.
I absolutely agree. I can't wait for us to see our first trailer. So it's not ready just yet, but we'll probably get one before the end of the year. All right, and so then that brings us to the end of the show. The last piece that we wanted to talk about was the What If series that's going on Disney Plus right now.
Mhm.
And I am gonna kick this off over to Carmen to kick us off, because I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'm not caught up. So this is gonna be a you guys conversation, and neither is Andres. He's shaking his head no. So Carmen, I know you've seen it. So I'm gonna throw it to you first, and then whoever has anything to add before this might be a very short ending of the show. But
We're doing Thor or Kilgore?
Killmonger, you mean?
Killmonger. Sorry, thinking of something else.
We can
Kilgore.
whichever. I watched both. I know Killmonger was last week, and I liked that episode. It was again, I know I say this every time, but having Chadwick Boseman reprise his role as King T'Challa is like, it's like it hits deep. Wow. Okay, let's not take that out of context. But I like the storyline. I like how if he would have been there, the storyline of Iron Man would have been completely different, especially because Iron Man was or is actually still one of my favorite characters in the Avengers universe. Um, so just to see how that character would have been different. And then the only thing I did not appreciate, and it's not to knock anything off of the series, the open endings that we're getting. And I know that there is more to come from the episodes or like from the series and whatnot. But then it's like it just leaves me wanting more of like the story, especially like with this one. And it's like there was no repercussions to whatever happened. So like what's gonna happen? Even with the zombie one, it was like, okay, so then what's gonna happen with that? This last one with Thor. And then like the last scene of it, we see Vision in a certain form, and it's like, okay, what is this all leading up to? And so that's like my only caveat with the show. I love the episodes, every episode. It's like Ash was saying earlier, you feel like that episode was great. Like there's no way that they can top that one off. And then the next one is like, oh shit, like they just blew your brain off. And like it's another story that you could not have possibly like thought of, at least like in my case. And then I'm like, but I want more. Like, please finish the story because there's still like more leading to that. So I know that they'll tie it to what's coming within the universe and whatnot. But as of now, I just like, can you please just give me more? Thank you.
Esteban, have you watched? Are you caught up with What If?
I am, and it was the Killmonger one was fantastic. The zombie one was great too. I know we talked about that one last week or the week before, but yeah, the Killmonger one was actually pretty cool because the way you kind of see it, you think that he's got this mindset first, and then the way it kind of turns and stuff like that is actually pretty cool. The most recent one was different compared to the last 6 that we saw. It was very wholesome, you know what I mean? Like it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to watch that one. But again, like Carmen was saying, the way that they're leading a lot of these episodes now, it's very open-ended, and the thing that I love that I really like the most is that if you notice, the watcher is actively becoming a part of the story now, where before you would only see like a silhouette of him, or you would see him faintly in the shadows and stuff like that. Now he's like predominantly front and center now in a lot of these episodes. So I think it's great, so it just tells me that he has this bigger role to play when it comes down towards the end of the series, because I think it's 9 episodes, so we've got like 2 more left now. So I'm excited to see it. I want to see what other stories we're going to get into for season 2 of What If, because I know season 2's already been greenlit. So I can't wait. I want to see it. Like I got to see this now. So I'm super excited about it. I'm excited to see the next episode because the way this last one ended with Vision and the Gauntlet and the Ultron bots, I'm excited. I can't wait.
All right, I dig it. And I think the other person that saw it was Ash, but he is indisposed at the moment. So I think that's gonna do it for comics for today. Well, thank you for everybody that has stuck around to it to the end. We appreciate you. But before we say goodbye, I wanted to ask Ash for any thoughts that he had on What If.
I went to go pee. Thank you for making that segue like perfect.
Well, we were about to end the episode.
I know.
I was gonna, and I was like,
It's
you know
all
what?
good.
That's not fair. Let me get
No. I did like every. I love that Killmonger, the way they did. Every What If has been a different What If about everything, but I like that the way they did the Killmonger was like, it's what if Killmonger saved Tony Stark, but it's still Killmonger. So it still was going, the destination was still there. Like there was no deviating. I'm still gonna use fucking Claw. I'm still gonna use everybody. Like there was no, it was not a what if for him. It was more of that character chose different ways to use everybody to get to the destination. It was a what if for that one situation, but that character was still like dead set on using everybody to get to this one place. But like Carmen said, I'm more interested in where they're gonna go. And I love all the little what ifs. And I kind of hope they do what if season 1, like episode 1 goes into episode season 2, episode 1. Like they go in that order to kind of finish everybody's story. But if they don't, I'm okay with it. But like because they have so many stories, like what if Spider-Man, what if there's just so many different, what if Carnage got Venom first, the symbiote first. Like there's so many different other stories that like fucking as nerds we want it now. So to finish off that story, like where do we have to, do we got to do 3 seasons of this to get to, as nerds, what we already know? If Namor was fucking like, you know what I mean? Like we already have where we want to go, or where what the stories they already have. That's kind of, and I kind of feel like that's what DC's problem is. They want to get to what you know today without getting you to fucking deal with Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Justice League. You know what I mean? Like even Batman 2, Justice League. They kind of want to give you everything now and play a catch-up story with Marvel. And I know I'm going everywhere with that, but just Marvel has our trust to, you have all of our patience. And then Disney Plus, just give us something every single season and you have us for years. You don't have to give us everything now. You don't have to give us just, and we're good. And even if it's not canon, as we say, just make it, that never happened. Just fuck it. Make it different so that that guy doesn't go like, oh, that didn't happen in that episode, like that issue. Just, we're good. And now everybody can go to sleep. But that's what I wanted to say. Just, it's all good.
You hear that, Disney? Just fuck it.
Not
But
literally.
also don't.
Not literally, because you guys are known for horrible shit. I think we're not sponsored yet. Go on.
And on that note, we are calling it a night. Thank you for everybody that has tuned in for the whole episode. And again, comment, review, like, subscribe. Costs nothing to you, means everything to us. So we appreciate all the support. If you can keep it coming, we would love it. And Andres, I'm going to ask for some help on this one because we are Comix and
We're everywhere.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
I'm Ron Burgundy.